Hey, this is Zach with Project Hikari, which is a Mega Man game engine written in C++. It's on GitHub, and you should check it out. I wanted to give you an update on what we've been working on. You'll see here that there is a title screen now. There's also a very basic menu system that's been implemented. You can change menu items, it has sound effects, things like that. And then take a step forward. There's a state transition, there's a small fade you can tell between the two states, and now we're at the stage select screen. The stage select screen has been partially implemented in the fact that you can choose a stage, but it doesn't play any sounds, certain graphics need to be changed out, things like that. And some of the other changes are mostly in the gameplay, so let's check that out. Now you may notice that Mega Man is not there, and that is because we have implemented palette swapping, which currently only swaps when you are damaged. So you might have noticed a small disturbance there on the bottom left. Now you'll see that Mega Man is completely white, so all of his pixels have been turned white. We're using a solid white palette. And then here's a more normal look. This is like the standard palette. We've also got a pink palette, because how can you not? One of the other things that we've implemented is boss door transitions. So usually transitions don't have a delay before or after, except for boss doors, which boss doors, they do delay while the door is opening, and then when you transition through, there's a delay when the door closes, so you can check it out. And of course the doors are only one way, so once you go through, you can't go back. There's also a menu screen that we've added, which is full of fake weapons. Weapon 4 happens to be the top weapon, which did not bounce before. It would just stay going in one direction, but now it can be configured to bounce. In fact, any weapon can be configured to deflect in the opposite direction when it encounters a solid surface and it's moving horizontally. Now, in order to show you some of the other features that have been implemented, I need to die a couple of times to go back to the stage select screen. So, you'll notice that my lives are currently 3, so I'm going to die 3 times. Ouch. You may have noticed that I started here in the second chamber room, in between the first and last rooms. And that's sort of like how it would be if you were on your way to fight a boss. So he'd be going into the boss room, and then the boss fighting sequence would start. That obviously is not implemented yet, but it's on the roadmap. So we should have 1 life left, which means we need to die 2 more times. And then we'll be taken back to stage select. Perfect. So on this next stage, I'm going to show you some of the changes we've made to spawning enemies. You may have noticed that the enemies respawn automatically, and in fact, they will continue to spawn. The spawning is now configurable, so that any given spawner can spawn up to whatever you configure amount at some configured rate. And it will continue to do that as long as it's on the screen and you haven't destroyed any of them. If it hits the limit, then it won't continue to spawn, it will stop. But then if one dies, it will start up again. Very similar to how the beginning of Crash Man's level was in Mega Man 2. You may notice also that the items change color according to Mega Man's palette, because they use what is called the shared palette. So an item or an enemy can have its own palette, or it can use the shared palette, in which case it'll be whatever color Mega Man is, as long as the palette indices match. So it's pretty flexible, but not overbearing on the developer. So that's that. I think that's all there is to show in this update, so thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.